All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Great to have you all here today. We're going to be working on our third session of our Agency Breakthrough Masterclass here at Cloudways. This masterclass has been all about the lead magnet list builder. So the whole purpose of the last couple of sessions that we've done around this idea is helping digital agency owners like yourself to build lead magnets for your business. Our first session, we covered kind of high level strategy. Why would you want to build a lead magnet for your agency? In our last session, we got into some of the specifics around how to create your lead magnets for conversions, so building that list up as best you can, and also for conversations. If your lead magnet's not actually driving booked appointments on your calendar, then it probably isn't super useful. So while growing an email list is important, actually having sales conversations for you is really what the end goal is. So today's session is all about actually building a lead magnet live with you all today. So we've got a special guest here that I will introduce in a second, but the goal of today's session is in the next about 55 minutes, we are going to go from no lead magnet to a lead magnet built and successfully working for a digital agency owner right before your eyes. We've done very little pre-work on this. We've done a little bit of conversation, obviously, with our guests around this. But if you're interested in actually watching the process of building a lead magnet out for your business within 1 hour, then this session is for you. Like all of our live streams, if you guys have comments or questions, or you want more clarification as we're doing this stuff, go ahead and use the comments field, whether you're on Facebook with us or YouTube or Periscope. Please engage with us today. We'll try to answer those questions live as much as possible. But we are really excited to have you here. We're really excited for this Agency Breakthrough Masterclass on the Lead Magnet List Builder. I've got with me here today William Cobb. Before I introduce you for our audience, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Brent Weaver. We work with digital agency owners that are struggling to attract and win high-value, high-paying clients. I'm the CEO and founder of You Gurus. I am a Cloudways Maverick. So we are really excited to be with you here today. So building an agency lead magnet live. So in order to make this more interesting and fun, I've got with me here William Cobb. So William, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what's your agency? Where are you based?
Hey everybody, it's good to meet you all. I'm William Cobb. I founded the Defy Agency, and it's headquartered in Phoenix, Arizona, but I live in Logan, Utah. So we are a remote agency, been that way since day one, and we have contractors all over the US that work with us.
Very cool. On a scale of 1 to 10 for our listeners today, how nervous are you to build a lead magnet live on our session?
I'm pushing like an 8 or a 9 right now, so heart's pounding. But that's excitement too. So
maybe on the next session we'll get you hooked up to like a heart rate monitor. We could live stream your heart rate. So real quick, William, before we get into the doing part, which we do want to spend most of our time today on the doing part. Because I'm a little bit nervous too. I'm like, can we actually do this? We came up with this idea. We're like, can we build a lead magnet in an hour? I think we can. But for you, you've obviously been in the agency game for many years. You've been trying to marketing your business successfully. You've been around for a while. What's the hardest part about building a lead magnet for your agency? I'm assuming you've maybe tried this before, but what's been one of the biggest challenges for you?
I have tried it before, and there's a saying that comes to my mind as soon as you ask that. It's you can't read the label from inside the bottle. And so the hardest part for me is coming up with what my customers want to see from my own perspective. And so that's always been a big hurdle for me, is not even knowing, what to offer in the first place. Like, I think I know, but it usually isn't right.
And does that, when you say it usually isn't right, when you think you know, but maybe it isn't right, does that make you want to like take a stab and throw something out there? Or do you instead kind of lock up and say, oh, well, maybe I'll do this later?
I lock up and say maybe I'll do it later. Although I know the right choice is to just take a stab at it because at least you'll get data back and you can make changes from there. But yeah, I tend to lock up.
Yeah. So, and hi to Picha, hanging out with us on Facebook. Good to see you, Picha. Another Cloudways Maverick. Love to have your support today. So, I think that happens to a lot of people, right? What's the hardest part? Like, I think what you said there was coming up with the idea, kind of taking, thinking about what your customer actually might want, and then probably more so is having the confidence to invest the time and the work and put something out there, knowing that it might not actually, it might not work. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, right? We'll figure that out over time. But how will, if you had a lead magnet out there, whether it was perfect or not, how would that new lead magnet help your agency, William?
Definitely, it would allow me a chance to. It's like a conversation starter in the least. I definitely, in today's world with marketing, you really have to offer someone something to get them to listen to you, and essentially give something away for free, provide value because there's so much competition, there's so much noise, and so having a lead magnet, I just feel like would give me a chance to say, hey, I have some value to give you. You should just at least give me a chance to tell you what I have to say. And not having that, it's really hard to get someone to build trust with you if you're just telling them who you are right off the bat. I mean, it happens, but I really do feel like that. And then the other thing is it establishes authority. I know personally, like even when I'm out looking for a copywriter, for example, and we were looking for one last year, and one of the copywriters had a lead magnet on her website, and to me that just spoke a lot of authority of like, okay, she's got a lead magnet, whereas the other ones are like, I'm great. That's the end of the story. Her website was, I'm great, and by the way, here's some value for you. And so I just knew, I don't know, you just kind of know when you ask yourself like what you see out there, people who have something to offer, something to give, whether it's a book or just a simple PDF or some type of download, it really speaks a lot.
Awesome, man. I couldn't have said it better myself. I'm looking at the clock and I'm getting nervous now. And I'm like, we got to start building this thing, man. So, William, let's jump into build mode today. Let's jump into build mode. Give me a second here. Let's get to what I would like to say here is build mode. There we go. Look at that. So we're going to run through some of the workbooks and worksheets that I taught and trained on over the last couple of sessions live. So let's dive right in because we are racing against the clock today. So Defy Agency, you guys are a web shop. Who's your ideal client? And just to real quick before I dive into this, when I think about this process, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to dump out a bunch of ideas. Once we get to that point of having enough ideas on the page, we're going to take a educated guess, right? That means literally looking at the options in front of us, and we're just going to make a decision. Whether or not that's the right decision, we're going to make it right. And what I mean by that is as we start to develop the lead magnet, we're actually probably going to make it a lot better, right? So even if the idea isn't even like ground earth shattering, right? We're going to work together and we're going to make it right. And that I think is one of the biggest weapons that you have about, that whole fear of like it not being right is just saying, you know what, we're going to pick the good enough idea and then we're going to make it right with a little bit of framework, a little bit of expert instruction here. So we're going to dump out some ideas. We're going to make a choice. We're going to map out the magnet itself. Then we're going to rough out some copy for this thing. And then if all goes well, we're going to actually take some of that copy sketch and we're going to put it into a live page that we have done a little bit of setup. I asked William to just literally create a landing page template on his Cloudways hosting account using Elementor Page Builder. And so we'll actually hopefully have that built for him enough that he could go wire this in with 10 or 15 minutes of work later. So let's get to the dump out ideas part of this program today. So who's your ideal customer, William?
So small local businesses, and I've actually been considering niching down even further and working specifically with like home repair companies.
Okay, so small service businesses, home repair businesses, cool. And Can you tell me a little bit about that avatar? Like, what's about how much money are they making per year?
Yeah, and I actually had a conversation with one of our clients recently, so I got some real numbers here. So he makes around 200,000 a year. The business does. I think he takes home, about half that, maybe
So
less
that's
than
a
half.
specific
But
client example. Is
mhm.
there a range here that we can kind of play within and kind of think about this client? So one example would be like a solo, maybe one contractor business. Are you looking for clients like is that the baseline, and then maybe you'd be looking for clients up to a certain level?
Yeah, good point. Yeah, there's another one also in the home repair business, and he has a couple employees actually, and I'm pretty sure he's running in the range of 500K to 1 million a year.
Cool. So, and then is there any other so like can you give me some examples of home repair type business? Is that how they think of themselves?
That is a good question. And one of them, they do solar window tinting, security glass, anything to do with windows tint. And they do it for commercial and residential. Another one, he does garage. He works with like epoxy flooring, putting storage units in your garage, like shelving and things like that. So if it has to do with the garage, like they do it.
Okay. So like I'm kind of feeling like this home repair businesses slash like in-home services.
Yeah, and I mean you could even slice it deeper, which I haven't thought too much about, but I know a friend of mine, they're doing just roofers, right? Like they only want to work with those doing roofing companies. So even just saying home repair could probably get more narrow. We could get more narrow, but
Yeah. And so what the fun part is with, lead magnets, we want to make sure that they are focused, right? So we want to stay away from this idea of just like, hey, how do we get in the mind of a small local business, right? That's pretty broad. But if we can get a little bit more specific into a type of customer, it might help us come up with better, more compelling ideas. So let's think about this in-home services business. They're making between 200K and let's say 500K, maybe a million at the top level. We want to cast a wide enough net that we're not gonna, because the whole purpose of a lead magnet is to build a list of prospects, right? It's like casting a really big net behind a boat. We know we're gonna collect up some bad fit stuff here, right? But the whole purpose is to more net casting than let's say fishing with a single line, right? So that's the whole theory behind the lead magnet. We're going to build as big of a list as we can. We're going to nurture that list over time and convert those people into qualified prospects. So what are some of the frustrations of this in-home services business that you can solve?
well, since websites is our thing, I mean that's something that we do find a lot. They'll it's kind of common, I feel like, for them to use like the GoDaddy page builder and build themselves a simple website, but it usually lacks a lot of professionalism. Um, and so, especially when they get to a point where their business is profitable and they start competing with others, they're very, it's a local based, they're not working with cities all over the country. They got their hometown, right? It's the town they grew up in. They started this business, or they're working with their dad, so they're um, very skilled, with tools and those things. But when it comes to computers, it's a new world.
Would you say that they love to work on their website, or do they kind of loathe it?
Loathe it for sure.
Yeah. Yep. So for them, it's loathe. Hopefully, I'm spelling loathe right today. Loathe. They loathe their website, right? It's like a necessary evil,
Yeah.
right? What's like if we go beyond the website stuff? I mean, what are some of their other frustrations? I mean, are they getting as many clients as they want? Are they not getting as many clients as they want? What's the deal there?
From my experience talking to my clients and where they find their customers, a lot of it's referrals. This business is very much a referral based, so it takes a long time to build traction, especially if they're getting started. They by now most people I've talked to in this industry know that people are using Google to search for them and that they need to have a Google profile. Not all of them know how to do that. And they don't even, once you get the profile, how do you, they usually forget to get those, the reviews on Google, right? Those 5-star reviews. And so that's something that, we want to help them with too, is just, we have a system where we'll get those reviews for you. We'll put a little link in your email signature, right? So you're always asking for them, because that's really important in this industry. Fears to help them overcome. Not getting enough referrals, definitely. They usually, like one guy, he never worked on his website at all. He usually ended up hiring people, and is one of my clients I've been with for like almost 7 years now. And I've seen him go through almost a dozen like web marketers before we started offering marketing, because back in the day I was only doing like the development stuff. And now we're doing marketing, and so he hired us to do marketing, and and so I think it not only is just building the website, but actually utilizing the website so you'll actually get referrals from it.
Yeah. So they want more clients, right? They want more biz outside referrals, right? And I'm writing fast today, team, here, because we want to get this done. So if you can't read my doctor handwriting, hopefully you're listening to what William's saying, and you're making this. I mean, do they have could you say that they have a fear of not, a deep fear of like not surviving as a business?
Yeah, absolutely. I think because sometimes home repair stuff can take a lot of time. I actually, this is a long time ago, like 15 to 20 years ago, I actually ran a painting business. I used to paint houses, and do websites as well. That was like that's how I paid for some college. And you get busy. You work 12-hour days. You don't have time for marketing. And I think that's one of the fears is you, who's going to be your next client? You get lucky if you find like a larger business who's going to keep considering you their main contractor to go to. But especially if you're starting out, like, I think finding clients, you're feeding a family. My avatar here, usually they're family, it's family man, family woman. They're just kind of good old fashioned, homegrown business family man.
Cool. And some of this stuff, for our audience that's just joining in, we are building a lead magnet live, and we are racing under the clock today. I'm pulling ideas out of William, and a lot of this stuff that we're talking about right now, you're going to see me come back to this when it comes time to write the copy for our lead magnet and our landing page. Because right now, we're just kind of getting to know our avatar. We want to get inside their head, because your lead magnet is not about... It's not about you, right? It's not about William. It's not about Defy. It's about your ideal customer. And so we got to get inside their head, because we want the lead magnet to appeal to their frustrations, to their wants, to their aspirations. And we won't, you don't want to overdo like digging a knife into somebody's fears, but we might want to be aware of them so we understand what game our clients are playing. So this is great stuff. I wrote down some stuff around aspirations. They want a consistent client pipeline. They want a growing business. They probably want some financial security. They want more business outside of referrals. I love this, and we're going to probably zero back in on this. This 5-star review thing might be, again, outside the bottle. If that's something that's top of mind for them, we can come up with some really interesting ideas for a quick lead magnet about how to get them more 5-star reviews, right? So that might be something we come back to. Real quick, we've already talked about some of the problems, solutions. Do you have any results or case studies, examples, something that you've done for your clients, maybe around the 5-star reviews? Like the 5-star reviews is the service. Is there anything that either emotionally, tangibly, or quantifiably, like that you've gotten a result from a client from doing this type of work?
Yeah. So one of the window tinting one, for example, in 6 months we got we rebuilt his website in 2020, last year, early 2020. And within about 6 months of doing SEO, local marketing, we got him on the He's in the #1 spot for 2 keywords in Google, and he's on the first page for another 2 keywords, which are between the 5th and 10th spot. And that's increased his referrals a lot. So we keep track of how many people are filling out that form on the website to get a free quote. He gets almost 15 a month, almost every other day. Someone's filling that out every other day. Also, we did set him up with a Google review system. We're using a third-party tool for that kind of automates it, but basically it's got a review link in the navigation. Someone clicks on it. It shows a beautiful layout of all the 5-star reviews and everything people are saying about them, and then it has a big button for people to leave a review. And in this third-party system, it allows the person to automatically copy their photo and name from like Facebook if they're already logged in, as most people are. And then they write the review, and then it invites them to leave it on Google and Facebook and other places as well. I believe he's on Yelp as well.
Cool. And then how many 5-star reviews since you started working with him has he added?
Oh, great question. So at least 6, because I see them every time they come in. I have it notify me as well, and they've all been 5-star reviews. So this guy's already doing great work. But now it's really easy for people to leave reviews, whereas before it was very manual. It was very much like if someone happened to like decide to go do it. But now every time he sends an email out, there's an invitation there to leave a review, so I don't think he's gotten 6 is in the past 6 months, so he gets like 1 a month. And I think before, I actually don't have any metrics because they weren't measuring stuff like that, but I know it was a lot less than that.
How many reviews did he have prior? So 6 is not, we can make this number sexy, but right now it's not that sexy, right? Like, hey, we helped a client get 6 reviews. Like, I mean, we could probably spin that and make that interesting. But how many reviews did they have before?
Great question.
If you don't know the exact number,
I don't.
It's fine. For this purpose today, we're going to use napkin math. So estimate it, and then what you can do is when you go live with this, you can kind of pass this through kind of what I call a final consistency check to make sure that everything that you're saying is true, right? So right now we just need to kind of, rough
So
that out, right?
I'm pulling them up on Google Maps. They have 24 total reviews. So we added, our 6 make up, what's that, like 25% of it. So they've had a 25% increase, but they've been in business for like 30 years. So, the past.
So now we're getting into 25% increase in 5-star reviews in 6 months, right? So I think that's probably a better stat than the business. And how long have they been around?
Over 30 years, like 35 years or something.
35 years. All right. So I didn't know coming into this, and today we are racing against the clock. So, we could probably go and dump out more ideas, right? I mean, absolutely, we could dump out more ideas. I zeroed in on results, and I actually saw this earlier when William mentioned what are some of their wants. They want 5-star reviews on business. They want 5-star reviews about their business. That they look at this as a top of mind issue, right? Maybe they know how to Google their own business. They can see that they don't have very many reviews. Maybe even the occasional customer is mentioning to them that they don't have very many reviews, or maybe they even have negative reviews and they're not going in there and actually doing anything about that, which could be limiting the traffic that they have going to their website, could be limiting the amount of phone calls they're getting, the amount of inquiries they're getting. I think most people in this market know that this could be a problem, okay? And here's a quick little, we're going to do a quick tangent on this just to help our audience understand the types of problems that our market has, right? There are known problems. There are what we call known spoken problems. So this is the problems that your clients know about and they are talking about. It's something that they're willing to talk about. There's another layer of problem of the known unspoken problem, right? It's a problem that your client knows about, but they might not feel super comfortable talking about it, right? So let me give you an example. Known spoken problem would be, I don't have enough 5-star reviews, or I'm frustrated that I don't have any reviews. I'm not sure how you get reviews, or maybe it's even, I'm frustrated that I have some negative reviews and I don't know how to respond to them, right? That's a known spoken problem. Your client's gonna be super comfortable talking about that. they might not be comfortable talking about how that problem is actually causing them to not make enough revenue, and maybe they weren't able to achieve their financial goals for their family, or maybe they feel insecure about their family finances because their business is not growing, right? So they know that problem, like that's kind of what I call a keep me up at night problem. And then there's the unknown problems, okay? And this is what you likely, as an expert, right? This is like the magic zone, right? This is really the root cause, right? And it's good for us to think about this as we're creating a lead magnet, because what we really want a lead magnet to do is play up here. We want our lead magnets to play up in the conscious space of a client. And we can use some of our copy to kind of start to allude to the fact that there's something else going on here, right? Like we can also use our copy to talk a little bit about that unknown or that known unspoken problem, but the lead magnet itself should really have broad appeal. It should be something that's top of mind, easy to understand, conscious, and that somebody feels really comfortable opting in for. Right? So if we were to go and talk a little bit more about that known unspoken problem, like, hey, opt in for this thing because we're going to help you create a financial security plan for your home services business, right? They might feel a little uncomfortable about that because opting into it admits that they might have a problem that they really don't want to admit that they have, right? Whereas if we talk about like, hey, opt in for this thing and we're going to help you get more 5-star reviews, like that feels really comfortable and cushy, and it's probably going to get us more opt-ins, more people in the market to raise their hand. With our marketing and our sales process, we can start to help educate the client as we build more trust, right? When you build more trust with your prospect, then you can start having this conversation about the root cause, right? The known problem, you're not getting enough reviews. The known problem is you're not, the known unspoken problem might be that those reviews are causing you to not generate enough revenue in your business and is impacting your financial security. The unknown problem is that your business actually lacks a cohesive digital marketing strategy, right? They might not even be thinking about digital marketing strategy at all, right? It's not top of mind. They don't understand it. It might as well be Greek, right? We want to stay away from that stuff, the stuff that we really know they need, but they're not yet conscious or aware of it, right? So we're going to dig into a known spoken problem. We've dumped out our ideas. Now the goal is to kind of map out what this magnet is going to be, okay? So let's see here. So we're going to get to our landing page builder here in a second, but what I want to do is figure out, what do you have, right? Want 5-star reviews. You mentioned this thing about so we're going to dig into that. Is that cool, William? We're going to go all in on this 5-star review thing.
I like it.
Because again, we are racing against the clock today. So what content do you have around this? You mentioned that you have some content around adding some copy to their signature. Is that right?
Are you referring to like blog articles and stuff?
Nope. So that you mentioned earlier that one of the things you help clients do to get them more 5-star reviews is you add a little bit of info to their email signature.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we'll set up a system so their email signature says like, hey, we'd love to get your feedback. Click here to leave a review. Something along those lines.
Yep. And then do you have any tools, or you mentioned this other tool, this widget that they can install on their website? Is that freely available? Could they do that on their own, or does that require you guys to do that?
They could, if they wanted to figure it out, but once again, the web's not their forte, and so I think it would take them a long time. But yeah, you got to, if you're going to use a tool to do it, you got to put like their widget code on your website, right? You got to understand how to do that. And then you got to make it look pretty once you put it on your website too.
Yep. So that could be something, I think, for later. I think that would be a great carrot for them to opt in for something in the future. So email signature script is one thing. Could you create an email that they send to their client list asking them for 5-star reviews?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's another thing we do too, is kind of this follow-up sequence where, hey, every time you finish a business or finish a job, send your client a thank you email and invite them to leave that review, and then maybe follow up with them. So we usually try to ask them if they have a CRM. some of them don't because they're, basically working personally with people, right, and trying to just remember who they've worked with. But
Yep.
yeah, we try to get them set up with that.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we've got some interesting ideas here on our magnet, right? I think we're gonna so the widget and the code and some of the setup stuff, like when you start mentioning things like CRM and things like that, right? Like all of a sudden, I think we're getting into that unknown problem space, right? Like they might not even know what a CRM is. And again, I'm not saying that this industry is not savvy. I'm thinking about the massive, the big picture of people that are in this market. They're probably out in their trucks most of the day. Maybe they're just using their cell phones to conduct 99% of their business. Maybe they're conducting most of their business over text message and SMS. I'm also thinking about my own experience working with a lot of home contractors. Like it's rare. Occasionally you get a contractor that's running a really savvy digital business, but a lot of them, it's very much like text message or phone call. Hopefully they show up when they say they're going to show up, right? Kind of stuff, right? Especially in that 200K to 500K range, right? So we want to really
QuickBooks,
Yeah,
Sorry,
right.
go ahead.
I mean, we want to stay away from anything that's going to require knowledge about what you do, right? And we want to really lean into this whole like 5-star review on Google, because I think they get that, right? I think that they understand that they maybe want more 5-star reviews. And I think what we've actually done here is you've got these documents. Now, some of these you might not already have, and we can talk about what that would take to kind of put that together. But basically, email signature script, an email script to send to all of their clients, and an email script that they can send after every job, right? I think you could probably provide a document that has that in maybe 1 or 2 pages, right? I mean, that's probably fair to say, and then maybe one of those pages is, has some setup instructions or something like that, right? I mean, we're not talking about a massive amount of time to make that happen, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I really like this idea too.
Okay.
I think it's going to be great.
So what we're going to call this thing. So what is the resource? Name or describe. So we're going to get into our landing page. Now you'll realize here, hopefully we'll have time to kind of turn this into a little example PDF. The worksheet that I had as kind of a standalone worksheet for us to jam through today was more of a questionnaire worksheet than a script worksheet. We could potentially build that on the fly today. We'll see, right? But I think we can all imagine as our audience what this PDF is going to look like. And hopefully it wouldn't take William but more than 15 or 20 minutes to literally put the document together. It could literally be a Google Doc with these 3 scripts, okay? Which hopefully you just be copying and pasting from other client stuff. Here's the deal. You might be thinking to yourself, well, why would I give these scripts away? Right? I mean, are you having any of that thought? Like, if I give this away, what service am I really going to be offering my clients?
Oh, you're providing value, and that builds trust, like right away. And that's what you want more than anything else. That's one of the biggest hurdles to overcome when you're closing a sale, is making them trust you. Not making them, but like building trust with them. Do they trust you? When you really look at, I'm no sales master, but I've been studying it because when you run a business, you better know it. But man, this is one of the biggest hurdles, is build trust, and because everything's an emotional decision. There might be numbers there, but man, everything is going to be behind that emotion on, do they feel good about making that purchase, and trust is your number one hurdle.
Yeah, we're going to be building trust, but in even more of a logistical level, you're going to give them the scripts, and their first question might be, well, how do I get these set up in my business to run on an automatic level, right? And maybe even part of your lead magnet is, hey, here are the scripts. Feel free to use these in your business if you want to automate the system. If you want to, and maybe even you include a screenshot of your client's cool little pop-up widget, right? Again, like they don't need to know that it's a widget, a plugin. They don't need to know that's a piece of code that you just snap onto the website, but you can show them some of that maybe in your, on the actual lead magnet itself, kind of giving them some incentive to engage you and call you and say, wow, this guy knows how to get more reviews. I don't just want his scripts. I want the whole system, and I don't actually want to do it. I want William to do it, right? So scripts to get you more, right? Maybe we use instant 5-star reviews for your home services biz, right? So that's our lead magnet. So we've identified that, right? We're gonna call this, maybe it's like three winning scripts or 3 proven scripts, right? To get you more 5-star reviews, okay? So we're gonna write some copy real quick, okay? So we're gonna use this thing called the hook, build, payoff structure for copy. This is something that a writer who wrote The War of Art, his name's Stephen Pressfield, he extracted and kind of popularized in one of his books, right? We want to grab our readers' attention. We want to build some tension. We want to give them a clear payoff, right? And this is a great structure for lead magnets to make them really simple. So how do we grab our readers' attention? I'm going to go back to some of the stuff that you were saying about the results you've gotten your clients, right? So you've gotten them, maybe it's, increased 5-star reviews by 25% in 6 months. What do they get by opting in? They get 3 proven scripts to plug in, to copy and paste into your business today to get you more reviews and clients calling you, right? And then payoff. So what was that thing you helped your client get over, between this and SEO, right?
Page of Google, lots of, I think they increased their.
So get this tool and learn how we increased one of our clients' leads. Let's see here. Get this tool and learn how we got one of our clients over 15 new leads per month. All right, so we just scribbled some copy. What I'd like to do now is, I've got these notes on here. We're gonna take a look at your actual landing page that you built. So I'm not kidding, folks. We just literally mapped out William's lead magnet. He's gonna deliver the 3 proven scripts to get you 5-star reviews instantly for your home services business. Okay? The headline is, we increase 5-star reviews by 25% in 6 months. The build is 3 proven scripts to copy and paste into your business today to get you more reviews and more clients calling you. The payoff is, get this tool, put your email address to get this tool and learn how we got one of our clients over 15 new leads per month. Sign up here, right? That's it. Okay, so what I want to do now is, William, I know you prepped a landing page that was just a starting point for us today. So I'm going to pull that up here on my screen share, and we're going to fill in this information. So hopefully you've got your editor pulled up live. This is that moment where I'm like, is this going to work live? I don't know. Maybe it will, right? So we've got the moment of truth, right? We've got William hanging out here on this page. So we don't need to worry about the designing this out today, right? But if you had a lead magnet, like one of those like 3D book looking things.
Go ahead and refresh the page. Yeah, go ahead and refresh. There's been some changes.
Look at this. He's doing this live. All right. So if we were to have a name on the actual document itself, right? And if we use more of like a 3D book or a guide, something that we can actually put a really clear name, like right now there's all this like really small text on there. And again, I'm not expecting you to do graphic design here today live. But I would, if I had to name the lead magnet, it would be called 3 proven scripts to get you more 5-star reviews. And
I
if we
love it.
had the space on there, it would be instantly for your home services business. Okay? And maybe actually, now that I'm thinking about this, maybe for today, if we can just change that headline to 3 proven scripts to get you instant 5-star reviews. Can you make that change for us, William? 3 proven
Done.
scripts to get you instant 5-star reviews. Cool. And then in the body of the content here, we're gonna say these scripts. Download these scripts for your home services business. So download these scripts for your home services business and learn how we increased and increase your 5-star reviews by 25% in 6 months. So download these scripts for your home services business to increase your 5-star reviews by 25% in 6 months. And if you don't get it all the way 100% right as I'm dictating it to you today, I think we'll be okay.
All right. Okay, go ahead and refresh.
All right, download these scripts for your home repair business and increase your 5-star reviews by 25% in 6 months. Awesome. So now below that, maybe we will put a couple of bullet points here. We're going to do 3 bullet points. So we've got the first bullet point is copy and paste scripts you can use in your business.
Okay.
The second one would be get more 5-star reviews on Google.
Okay.
What are the other? I mean, Yelp, obviously. Is there any other big ones that they care about?
Yeah, Google, Yelp, maybe Bing. Sometimes people talk about Bing. I haven't gotten into it too much yet.
Maybe like Home Advisor. I don't know. Is that like a thing?
Oh, that's right. I think it's called House, Houz.
Yeah, maybe, and again, you can. This is that where we come back for the consistency check later, right? So maybe for now we'll use Google, Yelp, and Bing, or Google, Yelp, and then use like Home Advisor or House, right? And then you can come back and think about what's and again, this will tell your audience that you know them, right? That you don't just, it's not just Google, it's like Google and something that they care about. Okay. And then the last bullet will be these scripts. Let's think about this. Proven, or we've already used the word proven scripts. Helped my client get 15 + leads per month. And that might be too much copy on there, but let's go for it. Let's see what it says. So that third bullet is going to be increased, maybe got 15 + leads for client per month. Something short.
Right. I did a little bit of styling. All right, go ahead and refresh.
All right.
Obviously, going to clean this up a little more later.
Yep. And one of our goals too on these, I would say probably, if you can cut this, depending on everybody's got a different resolution and all that kind of stuff. But I would say generally speaking, right now we could probably move this. And again, I don't know if you can do this live, but this would be for a later thing. Would be cutting this buffer probably in half. I would say cutting this buffer in half. We want this whole chunk to be kind of above the fold so that they're seeing it like nice and tight on the page, right? So we want to make sure that that's, if we were to kind of sketch out this, in some ways, it's literally going to look like almost like this, right? You're going to have your your lead magnet over here on the left, and then your hook build payoff with your opt-in should be really easy to view on the right side. Okay. And then on that, get 15 plus leads per month. Maybe you put outside of referrals on there, because if referrals are kind of like a big thing for them, maybe that's something that you're able to put on there as well, right? All right, so we're getting close, right? I mean, all of a sudden, and again, I wouldn't worry about the design stuff now. You can go back and do that. You can go back and do that later. So we have the initial guts, and I don't know if you made any of those final copy changes. Maybe change the button. Maybe we can change the button to say download scripts now, right? That would just be the only change I'd make on there. Download scripts now.
Okay.
Yep. And then, you know, and dude, this is starting to look really good, right? 3 proven scripts to get more 5-star reviews. Download these scripts for your home repair business and increase your 5-star reviews by 25%, maybe 25% or more in 6 months, right? Because I think that's, again, we're trying to market this. We're trying to give it a little bit of spice. Okay. Now I think you've got a bunch of other stuff down here on the landing page, which a lot of landing page templates come with a bunch of stuff, right? And sometimes as designers, right, if we're design first, we kind of take a template and we're like, oh, hey, you know, somebody put this here. We might as well fill it in. Mm-hmm. For a lead magnet, especially if we're going to go and pay for traffic for a lead magnet, we actually want to get rid of any fluff outside of what I'd call the core value proposition. There is a good argument that we could eventually, right? So with this lead magnet, we could eventually optimize and compare like a short form and a long form page, and we could probably get really fancy with some CRO help and things like that. But when it comes to a lead magnet and determining, is it going to work for you, I actually view this as a very binary experiment. We don't want to optimize something unless it's on a binary level, like it works or doesn't work. It either connects with our audience or it doesn't, right? We don't want to optimize the crud out of something that just doesn't connect with people, right? And so what we should see is some level of results with just a basic headline, some build copy, and an opportunity to opt in, right? Because let's say we go in and we add a whole bunch of copy to this page and we kind of work on our credibility and our testimonials and a lot of other things. And maybe that helps us increase our conversion by 10 or 15 or 25%, right? Maybe 50%, right? The reality is you're optimizing zero, or optimizing really low quantities, right? So we want to see when we're going out there, and I talked about this in my last one of the last training, is that when we're building lead magnets for our business, we actually want to almost view it like how rabbits multiply, right? Like when a rabbit, rabbits are like these really tasty treats for like foxes and all sorts of predators, right? And the only reason that they survive is because there's a ton of, they make a ton of themselves, right? And the same thing kind of goes with lead magnets, right? We need to be willing and able to just throw lead magnets away. And when I hear people that spend months working on lead magnets, it kind of breaks my heart because there's all this emotional energy wrapped up in this lead magnet, and we don't want that to be the case. Okay, so William, for you today, like all this stuff down here, if you're in Elementor, I would just go through with a blowtorch, delete, right? This is not copy that we have to go ahead and have as homework to go write and fill in. Let's make our lives easier. Let's just get rid of all the stuff that we don't have copy for yet. And that way, should I
even remove the social proof, like readers say, like just remove it all and just be like, boom, click download now?
For our process today, I mean, the only thing that I would add on here, especially if you're going to be, if you're going to advertise this, let's say on Facebook and stuff like that, is you're going to, and again, this could go through in your consistency check, is you're going to probably add your logo. I would recommend not linking it back to your website for now. So this should be an orphaned page, meaning that the only place that somebody can get to without actually going in and mucking with the URL is this page. The only thing they can do is they can opt in, right? Because we don't want to, what happens if somebody clicks to your website from an opt-in page, if you're driving paid media to it, all of a sudden now we don't know, are they converting because of this lead magnet or are they converting because of something else on your website? So we would add like your logo just to know who is this coming from. We'd add your business name, we'd add a copyright, we'd add some kind of privacy policy and any other disclosures that are required with Facebook with Facebook ads or other marketing platforms, right? So again, that would be something that we'd go through in a consistency check for this. Haley from from chat today, Facebook. What's up, Haley? Glad that you chimed in here. Any suggestions about how to structure these landing pages on mobile? So great question, Haley. That's also something that we'd go through on this later. What I would probably recommend on mobile would be, we're going to cut to the chase a little bit more. And I think, though, depending on your mobile design skills, I think you could probably have this section of the page. And let me get that share back up here. Boom. So I think you could have this section of the page on mobile above the fold as much as you could, right? Obviously, we don't want to make the text unreadable, but it would be like headline at the top of the page, 3 proven scripts to get more 5-star reviews. But we don't need it to be like, and I'd go look at like, I think some of the news companies out there do this really well, right? In terms of like picking a good font that's really easy to read. It's very clear. Maybe you're even dropping the background and going to a white background, making it really clear, because the headline is super important. If they don't read past the headline, like if they don't connect with the headline, then nothing else matters, right? So for your mobile design, if you can have a clear and compelling headline, this copy right here, if you can't fit this kind of build, and this, when I say build, this stuff right here, the whole purpose of these bullets is to build tension, to stretch the gap around what our ideal customer is currently experiencing in their life and what they'd like, right? So copy and paste scripts, that to me means like our customer is not super savvy. They can use this, like anybody can use this in their business. You know, get more 5-star reviews, you know, and maybe we even, because we got a little echo here. So I even say, what I'd probably recommend, William, if you can do this on the fly, get rid of this get, and then make this the first bullet. More 5-star reviews on Google, Yelp, Home Advisor, and more, because that's really the game we're playing here. The middle one, it can be copy and paste scripts you can use in your business. The last one would be get 15. We're gonna end on a strong note. Get 15 plus leads per month outside of referrals, right? So if you have room on mobile to include this stuff in here, I think it's gonna be good. If you don't, then maybe your mobile design does not display that, or it displays it after the opt-in box. So I would definitely want, on a mobile, I'd want headline, I'd want your initial kind of grabbing attention, build sentence, and then I'd want the opt-in box all above the fold on mobile. And then if I had room, I would also include this stuff. If I didn't have room, I'd put that right below the opt-in form. So if they did scroll further, they'd be like, oh, I can copy and paste scripts, and hey, I want more 5-star reviews. So great question, Haley. That's totally awesome. Now, a lot of you might be wondering, we've got the opt-in, right? Now, the homework that William would have today would be to take, to create a Google Doc and just literally copy and paste the scripts that he's already using for his clients. I would recommend you to not create new scripts, because that's going to be a lot of work, right? All of a sudden, when you start imagining what this lead magnet could be, and like, you know, before you know it, you're going to spend weeks and weeks on this. I'd recommend for the actual magnet itself, a PDF. It's got your logo on top, got your 3 scripts that they can use in their business, and then contact information. That would be an MVP. If nobody actually downloads the thing, it doesn't matter, right? We would have just spent a whole bunch of time building something that nobody actually wants. The magnet itself isn't going to get you very many leads, okay? So we don't need to really worry about the conversion from magnet to business. What we need to worry about is what happens after they opt in, okay? Once you get their email address, and we did this earlier, but basically you've got this success page. And again, this was a template that we created, okay? Success, you're on the way. The checklist should be in your email within a few moments. Now, this is key. A lot of people waste their thank you pages. They literally waste them. They say, thanks for downloading, here's the magnet. And then guess what the person does? They go and they click on the magnet. Now they're looking at the lead magnet. They're not thinking about scheduling a call with you. So what we want to do is we want to create a little bit of an interrupt moment. So we're going to say the checklist should be in your email within a few moments, right? We might even say, you know, please check your email in the next 3 to 5 minutes. In the meantime, we'd like to kind of make a pitch for a call. Now, we didn't have time today to go in and talk about this copy, but here's the high-level understanding of this page. You mentioned earlier about setting some stuff up for the business around local reviews. And that's where I think this page, that's going to be your pitch. So we would follow the same copywriting formula here. So next, book your free consultation. right? Maybe and we can leave that copy on here, but you could say, look, if you're interested in getting better local reviews, here's the deal. We can help do an audit on your business to understand how many places that you should actually be on. We can do an assessment of your current local reviews and tell you whether we think that they need a lot of work or not. We can actually help you build a strategy, not just for local reviews, but for your broader digital marketing for your business. And we can also help you implement all this cool stuff in your business. And we can create systems to automate and free up your time. So this is where on this page, I'd really start to dig into some of those unspoken known problems, right? We're not doing that on the front end, but we use some copy on this page, right? Book your free local, your free home services local marketing consultation. On this call, we're going to look at this, and this, right? And again, we're just pulling back some of those problems that we talked about earlier, those frustrations, those fears, those wants, those aspirations, right? So like, maybe your website's not professional, maybe you're struggling to compete, maybe you feel like your website's a necessary evil, you're not sure how to how to run digital marketing to help you grow your business locally, right? You'd have a few of those bullets, and then you'd have a consultation thing, okay? Another recommendation is to, again, reduce some of the padding. Designers, I know out there, you love the padding, you love to make stuff really spacious and spread out. But again, like that last page, what we actually want on this page is a really brief, like this is just like an info box. It really should maybe take up 10-15% of the real estate above the fold at best, right? So we'd make this a little bit smaller, and we'd really want this part right here, right? The pitch for the call and the scheduler above the fold, so they can see all of the value that you're going to deliver on your consultation, and they can see that there's a scheduler there to book in with you right at that time. This is really where some of the magic happens in terms of booking conversations with you. So we're not going into this part today. We're just kind of talking about the structure, right? Lead magnet.
You can refresh those pages too.
Oh, we can refresh both pages. I love that William's doing this on the fly. So we've got this page right here. So 3 proven scripts to get more 5-star reviews. So we've got that. It's all above the fold now. It looks super good. From a legal standpoint, you're going to have to add some of that stuff later for driving, pages and copyright and all that kind of stuff. You'll have to go in and update your image later, right? Again, these are more procedural stuffs. You got the download scripts. Perfect, dude. And then we go to this page, right? And let me refresh this guy. Oh, cool. So you already have next, book your free home repair consultation. Let us help you build a strategy for getting 5-star reviews today, right? And then we can get into some of that copy that we already unpacked, right? Okay, dude, I'm feeling like we did this. And I know there's some homework and some next action items to do for the business. So if we were to kind of recap the next actions for our people today, I think what it would be, your list of to-dos would be, first, create that really simple PDF that's got those copy and paste scripts in there and some basic information about how to connect with your business. I would say don't go any further than that, right? Logo, here are the 3 scripts I promised, and maybe a screenshot of each of how they can use them in their business, right? So they'd be the really easy copy and paste scripts, and then they'd have a screenshot example of them using that in their business, right? And then you'd literally go to File, Download as PDF, put it on a Dropbox or Google Share Drive, and that becomes your actual download. You got to have
love it. I love how simple that is. One of the hurdles that's always prevented me from doing lead magnets in the past is designing them once they've been built. I mean, it's one thing to design a website. Yeah. It's another thing to design a fancy ebook, right?
No fancy. Logo, scripts, that's version 1.
Yeah, and for anyone who doesn't know,
if you go out there and you start driving traffic and you get 1,000 downloads of this sucker, right? And you've gotten some leads and clients from it, and you want to go invest more resources later, then I'm going to give you the thumbs up, right? But until you get literally hundreds of opt-ins for your lead magnet, dude, you're not going to put any more time in it. It's going to be logo, script 1, script 2, script 3, right? Here's contact information, because the reality is you already have them in your funnel. So we don't need to get them in our funnel again, right? They're already in our funnel. And so now we can start to nurture them over time, right? Doesn't even matter if they ever open up the magnet, honestly. If they go to that landing page and they say, you know what, thanks for the scripts, William. I actually just want you to do this for me, right? That's actually the ideal outcome of the lead magnet anyways, okay? So build that really simple PDF, wire it up with your email system of choice, pretty up that scheduler page, and then you're pretty much done.
Love it.
How do you feel, dude?
I feel great. I mean, and it's really easy to just make a Google Doc and then export it as a PDF. Like, that's super easy. I'm going to do this.
Yeah,
Straight up.
dude, you should, right? So we got it done in an hour. I'm super pumped. I do have to, we committed to getting this done in an hour. We're a minute over for our folks. If you guys, hopefully our listeners today enjoyed this. William, dude, thank you so much for myself and our audience today for making this happen for us, dude.
Thank you.
Big
Thanks,
help
Brett.
here. This was our third session on the lead magnet list builder masterclass. We've got one more session coming up here in a couple of weeks. Once we have our magnet built, how are we going to amplify traffic and get tons and tons of leads coming into our magnet? So we're going to be talking about that on our fourth and final session for our lead magnet list builder masterclass. William, you were amazing today. We got it done. We got the lead magnet built in 1 hour. The landing page, the thank you page, the high level concept, it all got done. So hopefully you guys can watch the recording of this if you want more info, but stay tuned for our next session here at Cloudways for our lead magnet list builder. Thank you all so much for watching today. Until next time, I'm Brent Weaver.